Super excited to talk about this week's book review. This week's book review was on Unapologetically Ambitious. Unapologetically Ambitious, which is a mouthful, has been written by Shelly Archambeau. And Archambeau is also a hard to spell last name. But Shelly Archambeau is an incredible entrepreneur. She is a rock star. And this book, it's like a love-hate type deal. I didn't like a lot of things in the book. It's it's written, in my opinion, is written more for like the female entrepreneur. Not that it's very feminist, but it's definitely written, obviously, in her point of view, her life experiences. So of course it's coming from a female and more like towards a female, but man, does it have some great nuggets that everyone could use. So it's written by Shelly Archambeau, and it's read by her and a lady named Dan Triandiflu. So I didn't read this one. I heard this one, and I must say that Miss Dan Triandiflu, it's spelled Triandiflou. She sucked. I just didn't like her. I didn't like the pace. It was very monotone. I don't think it made Unapologetically Ambitious. I don't think it gave it the spunk, the voice it needed for such a great book. Okay, so let's get started. During the foreword, man, I almost shed some tears. Shelly Archambeau, Ms.Archambeau, described her life, her experience throughout the death of her husband, and that's how the book starts. So it was pretty sad, to say the least. It was just sad. Then after that, chapter 1, it picked up, and it gave us a lot of life examples, and I took a lot of notes on this one. Again, I don't like some stuff in the book, but for the most part, very great, good stuff. She talked about the doubting voice. So this book review might go a little longer, but it was nonstop taking notes. So she talked about the doubting voice and the importance of our importance of recognizing that doubting voice we all have in our head, right? Like, can I really do this? Am I capable of doing this? She said it's very powerful to learn how to listen to it, to be able to recognize it, and it immediately stop it. We are our own worst enemies, and we need to stop when we sabotage ourselves, our dreams, and our actions, right? So learn that internal voice. Pay emotional and physical. So she says entrepreneurism or success, know upfront that you will pay an emotional and physical price. So what you need to learn it, you need to know about it. So when you're going through that tough time, that hurdle in life, that hurdle in your first 5 years of your business or whatnot, or when you're doing your internship for that business or that corporate office that you wanted, and when you're having a hard time, know that it's going to happen. So once you go through it, you realize it, you're like, oh, I was supposed to have this hard time, and then just go right through it, right? She explains motherhood to a T. So for all those mothers out there, or for all those women that are expecting to be mothers soon or one day, and are also wanting to pursue entrepreneurship, this book, by far, from the ones I've read, is definitely a must read. So she kicked ass on that aspect. She really went into detail on the hardships, emotional roller coaster that she went as a loving mother, and knowingly choosing to put sometimes her family aside for her goals. Okay, listen to that. You don't hear that often. She sometimes placed her family aside to reach her potential, to reach her personal goals, and obviously she had a husband who supported her 110%. So that was awesome. She also mentions you need to delegate as much as possible on everything, even on family stuff. right? She said that they had a budget, but they were able to get a family a sitter and an in-home taker to take care of her children while they worked. And that was a priority they focused on. That was a goal they set. They knew they needed help, so they delegated that part of a wife, or mother or husband figure for that hired person they hired. In business, you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And a lot of people say, work on your weaknesses, right? We hear that. I know I heard that several times. However, this past year, I've heard that several times. However, she says the opposite. She's like, no, why are you going to work on your weaknesses when you already know it's your weakness? I thought this was brilliant. It was like, duh. Like, instead of working on your weakness, hire someone or get a partner that's going to already have your weakness as a strength. Give them, delegate the task to them, and you keep working on your strengths because you're already good at something. You're already good at that strength. So work on getting it better so you could be more successful in that, and then delegate your weakness. So I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, dude, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Don't master a skill that you can delegate. Okay, and that's pretty simple, but again, it kind of goes back to the last example. Be reasonable with your expectations. Know yourself, and don't over stretch yourself. You always want to push yourself to a limit, but know that limit. You don't want to overdo it, because then it's mental and physical stress, unneeded mental and physical stress. And then this is something brilliant that I know that some of my mentors tell me, is that I thought growing up, or in my young business life, that I was told you need to learn how to balance work and especially on my career side, my police side, they always tell us, you need to learn how to balance work from family life. And the public sector says that a lot, right? Oh, you need to learn how to balance. And business, I thought it was the same way, but my mentors have said the opposite. He's like, hey, they have said there's no such thing as balancing your life. There's no such thing as a work and family balance. Something's gonna give. Something's gonna be sacrificed. You just need to learn how to work around it and be like water. Well, that's kind of my words, how I give an example on that. You need to be like water and kind of flow through it, having your goals in mind, right? And she said the same thing. Forget about work and life balance. She said the work balance implies equality, and there's no such thing as equality in an entrepreneur life. She prefers her phrase instead of balance. Her phrase, which I think is awesome, she says she prefers to use the word work-life integration. So you integrate the work and life, personal life stuff. So I think that's cool. Work-life integration. Lastly, there's a lot more, but I'm just gonna mention this. I'll focus on the other stuff during other video. But she says, work on how you can accomplish multiple things in one swoop. I think this was brilliant. Actually, my wife does this. So it's when she needs to exercise, or when she wants to go out to the gym or something, she usually just takes our son to the park, and while my son plays, she exercises, right? So she killed two birds with one stone. You could kill more birds with one stone, using that metaphor, by meeting with moms, like meeting with your friends and associates at a park, to use the same example, and work out, do your socializing, and hang out with your kids, right? Have the kids do exercise all at the same time. The same thing, the example she gave as well is when you want to network, or you want to go out with friends and family, then you double date, or you have a social date where it's not only you and your wife, you and your other half, it's you, your other half, and friends, family, whoever you want to socialize. So that way you spend that quality time together. At the same time, you're networking, and I think that's brilliant. So anyways, those are a few tips. I want to keep it under 10 minutes, and on other videos I will talk about example of a backpack method that she talked about, and mentors, the importance of mentors, and how it is that you could actually get mentors. So check it out. Hope you like this book review. Again, this book review is on Unapologetically Ambitious by Shelly Archambeau. Archambeau is Archambeau. Shelly Archambeau. All right.